Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short. And it's good, off the shortstop's glove! Just like the dream from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, 2-run shot to right. From the fall foliage of Corby Hawkins Stadium in the midst of Gloucester County, it's a chilly Thursday night for WJFL Memorial Division football between the Cherry Hill East Cougars and the Deptford Spartans, here from, again, Corby Hawkins Stadium. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Damian Waiters on this Thursday night. It's a little bit brisk out. It's a little bit windy, but it's a beautiful October evening for some WJFL Memorial Division football on this Thursday for a Cherry Hill East team that is 7-0, and they've shut out 4 of their opponents this year versus a Deptford team that's 2-5 and has been shut out 3 times. It's going to be an interesting night on this Thursday as Cherry Hill East, back-to-back Thursdays for them. They hung on to the East-West battle last week. They won 49-7, and they're going to look to go to 8-0 here on the road in Deptford. Yes,
and they've been absolutely another amazing season in the regular season for Cherry Hill East. Not losing. Pretty sure they've been undefeated in the regular season since like the last couple of regular season games in 2023. So they've been looking forward. Like these regular season games, there's not much for them. They've been running through them cleanly, clean run attack. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to see them pass the ball. Can't really stop that. So. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Really big team, good size. We'll see what happens.
Well, for Cherry Hill East, the lowest amount of points they've scored all year is 26, and that was opening week versus Eastern. Then after that, they beat Triton 28-14, and they've basically beaten everybody else with little to no problem. Week 2, they beat West Windsor Plainsboro 61-0. This is a shine of a very good ball club. Tyler Drob has brought a new life to this program after being sub 500 for several years. This is going to be a fun night, especially for quarterback Josh Greenberg, the dual threat, who has been a very efficient passer. About 70%, I think it's 68% is the exact number for his passing efficiency this year. Not to mention, he's near 500 rushing yards and 6 rushing TDs on the year. Cherry Hill East, as a rushing kind of quadrant, they've got a lot of guys who can really contribute on the rushing side. Not only is Greenberg the leading passer at 863 yards, he's also the leading rusher. And behind him is also Jaden Green with 6 touchdowns and Ryan Moyer, the senior tight end, with 8 rushing touchdowns. So you might see Cherry Hill East run out of the sweep a lot.
Yes, big senior. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
So big senior tight end Ryan Moore. Don't be afraid to see them. As you said they're running attack, but don't be afraid to see him coming from his tight end position, or even sometimes maybe from a slot position. Coming up, catch some passes. A really big guy. He'll stand his ground downfield, and I definitely see that they're going to look to him a lot tonight.
Well, the positives for Deptford, they have the sophomore quarterback, David Nochi, that Pat Landis can definitely develop in the next 3 years. He's been 42 for 75 in his passing attack this year, but he does have 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. If he can keep the ball on his side, then he should be good to go for this Week 7 matchup. And they've also got the senior running back, David Pearson. I think that he's going to be able to find himself in good field position every once in a while, and I think Deptford will try to attack Cherry Hill East the best that they can, but obviously we'll say Cherry Hill East, they're the favorite team tonight, but Deptford is always ready for a good show here on this Thursday night. We'll take a quick break. We've got, again, WJFL Memorial football action here on this Thursday night from Jim Corby and Jim Hawkins Stadium here in Deptford Township. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Damian Waiters. Vincent Vogt is pressing the buttons, producing tonight. We'll be right back.
rise and take off your hats as we honor the national flag and hear the playing of the national anthem. Active duty personnel and military veterans are invited to salute during the presentation of the colors. The color guard is commanded by Cadet Todd Stewart and consists of Cadets Eva Rivera, Shaylin Marine, and Jaslyn Diaz. The Navy Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps is being led by Master-at-Arms Petty Officer First Class Brian Berryhill.
Great. Let me turn my mic down before I deafen all the viewers at home. It's broadcast number 600 for us at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you're unfamiliar, if you're watching for the first time, we started out when I was a sophomore in high school back in 2021. Our first ever live stream was a 6-0 boys soccer game on October the 5th, 2021 between Gloucester and Audubon. And today we've serviced over 125 high schools in the state of New Jersey and almost all high schools in the south region of New Jersey. And we've become, at least in my eyes, a respected partner of these high schools throughout the Garden State. And as we celebrate this milestone tonight, it's hard to believe that in April was number 500, back with a baseball game between Gateway and Pittman. But we're ready to go. It's Cherry Hill East and Deptford, Thursday night football here from Corby and Jenkins Stadium. Deptford will kick this one off. Cherry Hill East will be back to receive to kick off this Thursday evening. Deptford celebrating their senior night and doing it versus none other than 7-0 Cherry Hill East. Back to return, or rather now to kick, will be Luke Villari, the senior. 48 minutes of Memorial Division football on a brisk Thursday evening, middle of October. We're underway here in Deptford. This one is going to be a touchback. Back trailing on that one was number 21, Tamir Gale, but unable to get that one as it trails out of the back of the end zone. Again, the wind might help kick some of these kickoffs and extra points or field goals tonight. As well, Cherry Hill East will get their first drive of the evening started as we take a look at Josh Greenberg, the junior quarterback. Both of these QBs for East and Deptford, non-seniors. Greenberg has been a fantastic dual threat for the Cougars so far, over 860 passing yards in his junior year. Not only that, he is the leading rusher on this Cougars team with nearly 500 rushing yards and 6 rushing TDs, not to mention an incredibly effective passer. Just under 70% is his completion rate so far this year, and there's a reason why Drob and the Cougars are 7-0 going into Week 7 of competition.
Absolutely, Dan. 12 touchdowns on the season for Greenberg.
Pass to the right side is going to be a first down.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to break through all the blockers.
Oh,
it's the
wow.
tight end who is going to find some space. No flags in the area. And on the first play of the night, touchdown, 80 yards.
That's Kyle Fisher right there for the Cougars.
Kyle Fisher, how about that for an exclamation point to start the game?
We're starting fast, Dan. Starting real fast.
4th receiving touchdown of the year. Had one in last week's big win over Cherry Hill West. And the Cougars lead it 6-0, 16 seconds into Deptford Senior Night.
Yeah, just a quick screenplay right there for the Cougars. Fisher able to square up his blockers, not really worried about anybody out front. You know you got to catch that ball first before you're able to get upfield. His blockers, good blocking outside for him, and he's able to do the rest.
Kicker for East on the PAT is Fareem Mahmood, the sophomore. This one's up, away, and good. 7-0 Cherry Hill East. They've got a big lead early, or I should say they've got a strong lead early. We'll stay right here. My producer, Vince, do we have a replay? Let's take a look real quick. Yeah, 80 yards, first play. I mean, this feels like a microcosm of what could be to come tonight. Left-hander drops it back to Fisher, gets the screenplay, and before he can even get to the line of scrimmage, you have a feeling that he's just going to break through, gets past that last line of defense, and by that point, he is gone. 2 defenders on his tail, but none really in the vicinity, and Kyle Fisher with a great start to tonight's ball game. So Kyle Fisher puts up 7. PAT good by Fareem Mahmood, and it's 7-0. Deptford will get their kickoff now after they break from their huddle, led by veteran head coach Pat Landis.
It'll be really interesting to see what the Cougars can do. You know, obviously 7-0, 2 games left here in the season, I believe. Only Deptford this game today, and I believe Bridgeton.
Yeah, they close out the season with Bridgeton on the 24th.
Yeah, Bridgeton on the 24th. You know, if you're able to finish this season, you know, at a clean 9-0, another undefeated season in the books. You know, after last season, and it's really going to be good to see what they're able to do in the Group 5 playoffs this year for Central Jersey.
It's going to be really fun. Here comes the kick from Mahmood. It's on the ground.
Off the tee, right before
did he hit it off the tee? Is that what it was?
Because
the referees whistled it dead as it hit the ground. I think that the tee was about 10 yards downfield, so I'm pretty sure he did hit the tee. And if you're curious, the last time that Cherry Hill East lost a regular season game was October 26th, 2023. It was the game between East and West where they lost in triple overtime 29-28. That was Drob's first year, and he went 5-5. As Deptford, he tripped up on the return, and he's going to be down at his own 20. As Deptford with a bit of a whimper on the kick return, and they'll get it started for sophomore quarterback, number 12, David Nochi. Nochi in his first year with the Spartans definitely looks like he could provide some life in future years in his junior and senior campaigns. I mean, listen, it's been about 20 years since Deptford had a sectional championship. 2003 and 2004 was Deptford's last titles. 42 for 75, just got over the 400 passing yard mark this year, but the interceptions are going to be something they're going to have to look out for. 6 of them on the year. His best game of the year so far was 3 weeks ago versus EHT, which was also Deptford's closest loss at 34-21, 8 for 15, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, it's been a rough run. It's been absolutely a rough run on first down run here for the Spartans. It's been a rough run for Deptford trying to get something going. No, won their first 2 games, and lost their last 5. And so, you know, trying to get something going here for Deptford. You know.
Yeah, and I think the way I think of it is they won those first 2 games, and then ACIT, a second-year program, came in, and they've been such a wild card considering that they're so new.
Yes.
16-7 over Florence, 27-6 over a still winless Pensgrove, and then losses to ACIT, Bridgeton, AHT, Glassboro, and last week Cumberland. Another rush on 2nd and 10. Doesn't get too much. But for the rushing attack for Deptford, they've got their leading man, David Pearson, 64 attempts and 230 rushing yards, 1 rushing TD this year. Also has picked up 118 receiving yards in 13 catches in 2025. And right behind him is Caden Rowan, the senior running back and linebacker, who picked up, first of all, most of his rushing attack came in the first 3 weeks of the season. 13 rushes for 96 yards in Deptford's last win back on September the 6th versus Pensgrove. 3rd and 12, that last rush was a loss of 2 from Pearson. Now Nochi gets it on the flat, out to the right side and out of bounds. Looks like around the 25-yard line. Will be still well short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th and 5. Line to gain is at the 31. We'll see what Deptford does here on their first drive, but already down a score on the 80-yard pass to Fisher.
Yeah, first and second down, a little bit of inside zone, try to spread the defense out, shotgun action for the Spartans, And 3rd down right there, a little bit of check down, got a good amount of yards. Don't hate it, but.
Yeah, on 3rd and long, the check down definitely not a bad idea for Coach Landis, and they are going to try to punt this one away now. So not choosing to be bold. It'll be sent away by, hold on here. That one's going to go out to the right. It'll be punted by Jordan Williams, and the fair catch will be made by East. And specifically, it'll be made by number 1, Isaiah Donaldson. A name that we heard a lot the last time we covered East football, which was the East-West game last year, a game that East won 35-7. That was a big blowout at East, and then this year it came back to the other side of Cherry Hill, came back to West, and, well, East dropped 49 on them in a 49-7 win, so the boot stayed on Crescent. That's at least what the Cherry Hill East Countryman, the student section for East, said. I'm not as familiar with Cherry Hill to know why Crescent is the dividing line between East and West, because Cherry Hill is massive. Start to drive from the 42 after the fair catch by Donaldson. Ball is fumbled. Donaldson is able to recover, and it looks like he's able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. But Cherry Hill's a big town, 72,000 people. I mean, if you think about it, I came from Audubon. That was a class of 124. But Cherry Hill, such a big, such a big business center. Obviously, they're getting back their, kind of large downtown section with those new shops that just got up past the Cherry Hill Mall. Always been a thriving place to be in Cherry Hill, and the East and West rivalry, one of the most famous rivalries in South Jersey. 2nd and 10, 42-yard line. Greenberg hands it off up the middle, barreling right into the line. That line bounced off of him like a brick wall, and Donaldson just couldn't get too far that time. It'll be 3rd and 7. Hard to believe both teams have already seen their first drive come and go, and we're only 3 minutes into the ball game here at Corby Jenkins Stadium.
Yeah, just 3 minutes in, Cherry Hill East on the field once again with their second drive. Maybe seeing what they can do, get some going in the run game. That screen pass on their first possession really looked like it worked well. Wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it.
3rd and 7. 2 rushers to the left. They send Fisher, the tight end, in motion. Here comes Greenberg, direct snap. He's going to have enough for a first down, and he breaks through everybody again. This is going to be another score if Deptford doesn't catch him, and that's why he's such a dual threat. Josh Greenberg, a 55-yard rushing touchdown, the second of the day for East. And just 3.5 minutes in, this game is already looking like East will be the one to run away as it's 13-0. Josh Greenberg not only got over 500 rushing yards, that one was good for 55, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And East, before you can blink, is up 2 scores.
No, it was really amazing to see just like a QB design run right there for Greenberg. Had everybody going left, him heading back right on the QB design run, and just the block setting up as the extra point.
That one is good from Mahmoud, and it's 14-0 Cherry Hill East. Man.
And the offensive line now are doing good work here early for Cherry Hill East for the Cougars.
What a good start. We'll take a quick break. 14-0 East. Cherry Hill East 14, Deptford 0. Two quick scores, both of over 50-plus rushing yard or 50-plus yards. A quick screen pass to Kyle Fisher got 80 yards to the house. First play from scrimmage. See, they're kind of adjusting the football to make sure that it'll fit. He's actually holding it down because of how windy it is tonight.
Yeah, you can expect the wind to be a factor here for both teams.
They say that Deptford, I think they said that a knee was down when he picked up the football.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Just some mental mistakes here in the first quarter. They have definitely put themselves in jeopardy. And Deptford, I mean, they could have got, I don't know how far they would have gotten with East's defense, but they definitely would have gotten more yards than what they ended up receiving. That's the second time that they've had a kick return abruptly cut, as it will be 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, 8:20 remaining in the first quarter. Let's take a look at that replay. Josh Greenberg, 55 yards to the house. You don't get much better than this. They send the man in motion, and I thought that they were going to do a jet sweep. You could see Greenberg, he stepped into the pocket and then took the direct snap. I really like that draw that he did there. And then by that time, he was gone, and there was nobody else to find him.
My thoughts, absolutely. Nobody else downfield, just able to use the speed to get away from everybody.
Pearson wrapped up in the backfield. A handful of Eastmen on that one. Looked like that was number 68, Dominic Canzano. Loss of 3 on the play. Actually, that's going to be a loss of about 4 yards because they're going to be all the way back at the 19. 2nd and 14. And again, we've still got 8 minutes left in the first quarter. This might be a night that East will want to remember in their quest for an 8-0 start to the year.
And on the other side for the Spartans, if a comeback is going to be mounted, obviously you're getting punched in the mouth kind of early, but if you're going to start a comeback, have to start up front in the trenches. Got to get that line down and blocking. These are some big guys on the defensive front for the Cougars.
They'll have to get around them as Spartans looked like Pearson on the rush. Pearson got that one on the pitch. Got a gain of 6, but still 9 yards short of a first. They're just 1 yard in front of where they started at the 24. But I will say, though, Week 7, looking like it's going to be a successful weekend for DWB. All 3 games have at least one undefeated player in that regard. Or, I'm sorry, one undefeated team. Tomorrow night is probably the undisputed South Jersey game of the week. Kingsway at Washington Township. That is going to be huge.
Tune into DWB. Tune in.
That's going to be number 601, Number, let's see.
Great
Pearson
coverage.
out to the right.
It's going to be great coverage.
Trips right. Check down. Pearson incomplete. Pearson, the intended receiver. They tried to get him the earliest man available, and now it'll be 4th and 9 as it looks like Deptford will try to punt this one away for a second time.
Yeah,
I mean, that door, even before the first kickoff, the door for Deptford was not very wide open. Well, that door is just going to get closer and closer to being shut, even in the first quarter. I mean, listen, crazy comebacks are a thing. You're only down 2 scores, but right now, Cherry Hill East looks like they're all over the Deptford Spartans right now. 4th and 9. It'll be Donaldson back to return. He fair caught it last time. That's another bouncing punt.
Ooh.
This one is sent. No fair catch. It will roll over towards the 39 is where it'll be down. And Cherry Hill East will have, again, very similar field position to where they started their last drive. Here at Deptford Township High School, I'm Dan Wilkins on the call with Damian Waiters. Vincent Vogt is the producer today. As we mentioned, Kingsway at Washington Township is the South Jersey game of the week, and I'm not the one to say that. Pretty much every media outlet in South Jersey agrees. Kingsway at Washington Township is the place to be on Friday night. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, pregame show at 6:45 on DWB. That will be Chase Barnes and Chase Parson working with me on that one. And then Saturday, another small school battle between a 6-1 West Deptford and a 7-0 Paulsboro. So really, we're starting to get the real good games out of here in South Jersey. Not to mention Cherry Hill East, a very good program as well at 7-0 as Greenberg, the southpaw, drops back. It's caught. Trying to barrel his way forward. The ball came out.
Oh, goodness. This could be trouble for East. It might. Yeah.
Deptford ball. The pass was caught by Jackson Bowman. It popped out, and now Deptford's going to have drive number 3, and it's going to be right shy of midfield.
This is where it has to happen, Dan. Probably the best, want to say the best field position so far tonight for the Spartans. And you got to make something happen here, whether it's 3, whether it's, obviously you want to get in the end zone. Noche's got to look somewhere downfield. Tell his athletes, get out wide, you know what I'm saying? Put a little pep in their step, get downfield. Let's see what happens.
Well, Noche, definitely somebody who can string the ball downfield for what it's worth. He's 45 for 72, a 62.5% completion rate for the sophomore quarterback in 2025, which is just behind Greenberg at 68.6. Noche, he does let it fly. It is incomplete and got a late hit. That one was broken up and tackled by Zach Salisbury, the senior.
And that was just a great fill by that DB. Like we said, Spartans definitely.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to mess you up there. Ryan Moyer was the receiver on the last play that fumbled, was broken up by Liam Sweeney. You know what my mistake was? I had last year's roster.
Oh.
Well, because I went to the last year's website to look at, I knew Zach Salisbury wasn't on East anymore because he was the starting quarterback last year. So I was like, wait a second. But, no, East, great breakup that time.
Absolutely.
By the correct name, Liam Sweeney.
Sweeney, great fill from his defensive back position. Noche looking deep.
Another trips right, one-handed, and he almost got it. Got to get 2 hands on that one that time. He kind of overran the ball. Luke Villari, the intended receiver, and it's now going to be 3rd and 10. But I think Deptford understands the gravity of the situation. If there's any time to make a statement, if there's any time to make yourselves known on the board tonight, it's going to be now. Get a first down, get a touchdown, get some points on the board. Doesn't even matter if you missed the extra point. It's 14-6. You at least put points on the board in a meaningful spot.
Yep.
Because putting six up now will mean a lot more than if you put 6 points up when it's 30-40 nothing. If Cherry Hill East continues on their battering ram path. But it's 3rd and 10. 2 incompletions by Noche. Dropping back, still staying in the pocket. Quick release. It is caught. And he's able to hang on to the ball as he got strung to the ground. The receiver was Jordan Williams. No, excuse me, it was Villari.
Look back to Villari once again, and this time 2 hands, like you said, Dan. Get 2 hands on the football.
Yeah.
You can reel it in.
I mean, listen, I can't entirely blame him that last time because he overran the ball.
Yeah.
But still, you risk with that one-hand play of tipping the ball up and then getting an interception, which will be Noche's 7th of the year. Pearson's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. Again, another host of East players in there. Leading the charge was number 56, Joseph Liu. And then also in the mix was number 24, being Lawrence Foreman. Loss of 3 on that play by Pearson.
Yeah, this offensive line for the Spartans have got to band together if they want to see the end zone. If they want to, knock on the door of the end zone. They got to band together, get some good blocks. This defensive line for this East Cougar squad, big, very big.
Yeah, I mean everybody on that defensive line just looks like they're ready to pulverize the O-line at any moment. 2nd and 13. He finds some space through the O-line, gets clobbered by Fisher.
That was a big hit.
Rather by
My
Moyer.
goodness.
He's able to get past the line of scrimmage, though. Yeah, I was worried about Noche for a second. He is just ever so slightly gingerly, and he lets his head coach know that he's okay. Or maybe not. Taking his helmet off on the sideline. No, I don't think something's right. They're attending to him. I thought they were waving him off. I thought he was waving them off to tell them that he was okay, but no, he just sat down. He realized something wasn't right. So Josiah Bynum, the backup quarterback, will come in for this play in a crucial spot at 3rd and 10.
Absolutely.
They are across the 50. They're at the 43. It's a high snap. And Bynum falls.
Wow.
He's hit as he throws, and there's nobody close. As the intended receiver was Villari, unable to come up with it. And it's 4th and 10. Again, Noche, the sophomore quarterback, getting some attention still on that sideline. He was able to walk off and actually run off the field on his own power. But, yeah, kind of an odd situation there because Nochi had just completed that pass.
Yeah.
And he got within 10 yards, and now it's 4th and 10 at the 42. Still across the 50 for the Spartans. And it does look like Josiah Bynum is staying on board. So Nochi continuing to receive trainer treatment.
Bynum not put into the best spot, but he has a chance.
He's going to let it fly. It's a high arcing pass that's caught. Taken in by David Pearson, but it's going to be well short of a first. Maybe got 2 yards. It'll be a turnover on downs, and Deptford will surrender at their own, at the opposing 40. Cherry at least will take over at their own 40-yard line. So as Nochi continues to get treatment, East will now at least buy some time for the visiting quarterback with Josh Greenberg and friends coming back out with a 14-0 lead already. Now, if you remember, their last drive was very short. It was only one play, and then it got coughed up by Ryan Moyer on the near sideline. Deptford took over, and then, well, Deptford just couldn't get anywhere with it. So this will be drive number 4 for the Cougars here on this Thursday night.
Yeah. And that defense for Deptford, they did a good job able to draw that ball out from Moyer on the last possession. Let's see if they can get it again.
They send Moyer in motion to the other half of the backfield as now Greenberg hands it off up the middle. Donaldson, he's got some space. He's going to be across midfield on top of the Spartan logo. It's enough for a first down and a gain of 13 yards up to the opposing 47.
Yeah, I really can think that we can, if you want to see the differences about an offense that's able to move the ball and get good yards on even on first and second down in Cherry Hill East, and an offense that's been stagnant so far here in this one in the Deptford Spartans. It really starts with the offensive line and the run game, just able to pound the ball inside, and you get good yards, 5-6 yards, even first downs on first and second down. Just getting downfield.
Donaldson was definitely able to labor his way through for the 13-yard gain as now Greenberg hands it off. Left side, Donaldson again finding some space. He's up to the 30-yard line, dragging the Spartans along, and he's finally brought down at the 25-yard line. That is going to be a huge gain of, well, we'll see where they put him. I mean, that's going to be at least 20, 25 yards for Donaldson that time, who we didn't see much of in the first 2 drives. But he now puts himself up, and a holding call brings us back. I was wondering why those chains weren't moving, and that's exactly why. A holding call puts us at, well, it's 10 yards to the spot of the foul. So on first down, we'll see. It'll be first and something. It's going to be walked back to the 49, 50. Right on the 49. So it will be first and 12. After the holding call, again, it would have been a big 25, 30-yard gain for Isaiah Donaldson, but now it's brought back. They send 2 men in motion. Now that a right side, getting an extra tight end, flipping the field there. They hand it off on a jet to Moyer. Hello.
Still on his feet.
He's going to feel that one in the morning as he gets that one all the way up to the 28. Ryan Moyer just pile drove that Deptford defender. Oh, man, that's a big first down. They keep this one moving. And Deptford still continuing to find its way in this game.
We talked about him pregame, and he can show you better than we will tell you. Of course, Ryan Moyer, the big tight end, fullback, utility here for Cherry Hill East, doing good work.
It's been great stuff so far to watch for Greenberg and the rest of this East crew. Cherry Hill East takes a timeout, and so will we. It's their first of the half. As the Cougars, well, you can imagine they've got a lot of good things to say in that huddle for Coach Drob. It is 14-0 with 2 minutes left in quarter number 1. East breaks from their huddle after calling a timeout, their first of the half. An out-of-town score update from the Holly City. Millville leads Cherokee 7-0 with 12 minutes left in the first half after a scoreless first quarter in Millville. Pitched forward to Donaldson. He'll get himself up to the 25. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6 for the Cougars. Yeah, we were talking about East's success. 7-0 in the regular season this year. They were 9-0 in the regular season. Well, excuse me, they won their first playoff game. They were 8-0 in the regular season, won their first playoff game versus Southern Regional, 28-21. And then the most viewed football game in DWB history was the one that ended their season. It was a 35-7 loss to Washington Township.
Yeah, wow.
That was a huge game. It was a game where it was delayed
You had
by
great coverage on
30
that one.
minutes because of the lights going out during the anthem.
Wow.
Greenberg is going to get a first down. He's going to barrel through.
We have more.
Where's he? Is he in the end zone? Yes, he is. Josh Greenberg. Touchdown number 2 on the rushing brigade for the quarterback, Josh Greenberg, the junior. Makes it a 20-point, 3-score game here in Deptford. As with 45 seconds left in the first quarter, East putting their stamp on this one already in a game that they won 35-14 last year.
Another QB design run in the red zone for the Cougars and another touchdown for Cherry Hill East and Josh Greenberg. Just great blocking to spring him out front. And another touchdown for Cherry Hill East as that extra point.
That extra point is good.
Is good, yeah.
So Judah Niv picks up the PAT that time, and it's now a 3-score game in favor of Cherry Hill East. We'll stay it right here. Got a nice sunset in the background here on this Thursday night. It is Cherry Hill East 21, Deptford 0. As you're watching coverage of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting WJFL Memorial Football here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. 2 timeouts for Cherry Hill East, 3 remaining for the Spartans. This broadcast is brought to you by Rowan College of South Jersey at Gloucester. Guess what? They're not very far from Deptford. So if you want to become a Roadrunner, visit rcroadrunners.com for athletic recruitment and rcsj.edu for academics in the premier community college of the Northeast. And this broadcast is brought to you by DAWG Pro Wrestling, the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. Book Dog Pro Wrestling today for your next event at DAWGProWrestling.com. That's the plaque that sits outside of Corby Hawkins Stadium, dedicated in 2011. This stadium built in 1979. And it's been through a lot of ups and downs with Deptford's history in big school football. That kick by Niv is going to go out of bounds, and an illegal kick out of bounds will be called. And it looks like Deptford will get some nice field position to start this drive, which will be their 4th of the quarter, with East up by 3 scores already at this juncture. I mean, listen, the window for Deptford is still open. I think that I'm excited to watch their QB in David Nochi over the next 3 years. I mean, you know, we talked about it like with Clearview. We saw Clearview on opening night. They didn't play the best that they could. It was, oh, they're going to opt to re-kick this one instead of,
Oh, wow.
oh, that's interesting. They're going to send them, I mean, the kicker Niv is standing at the 40, but I think they knock him back 5 yards, right? Yeah, he picked up the tee, and now he's walking backwards, and so is everybody else. So this is 5 yards on the re-kick. Again, in that last kick, they had one of their guys, number 7, Dylan Haddock, actually hold the tee because of how windy it is, although it doesn't feel that windy right now just reaching out of the press box. But East will send this one away. Looking to keep the good times going.
Absolutely.
You can see
Everything
Haddock
on
coming in
offense. Everything on offense working for the Cougars.
After that one went out of bounds, this one is out to the left side. Staying on his feet, Pearson on the return, finds a couple blockers. He's going to get tackled hard at the 30. That's where Deptford will take over for their 4th drive of the evening.
And like you said, Dan, for the special teams, Pearson and Thomas back there, when they're able to field the ball cleanly, they're able to get some good yards and put the Spartans in a better field position to start their drives.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting build-up for Deptford. They've got 36 seconds left in the quarter, and they just need a little bit of a spark. We do have a penalty against, it looks like Deptford.
Goodness. Wow.
So they had decent field position. I mean, the 30 is not great, but it's not bad.
Not bad at all, no.
And then now looks like they're backed up 15 yards. So they are at 1st and 10, lined up at the 14-yard line. So it must have been something like a personal foul or maybe an illegal block in the back. Something of that nature.
It looked like Nochi's back in the game now.
Yeah, that is good news. David Nochi back in the game after a short stint by the quarterback Josiah Bynum, the junior. Throw to the left side. It's high and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Tried to get it to the flat that time on the left side. 2nd and 10 now. That only took 4 seconds off the clock.
They look like a screen pass out for number 5, Jordan Williams, trying to get him into play here for the Spartan offense. Just trying to just really looked over there and just threw it. Didn't really had nobody out there waiting for him. But a good job. It's really good that it went incomplete.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that Deptford right now, they're trying to pass the ball well. I mean, listen,
yes.
Nochi has a 62% pass completion rate. It'll end up working out for him, but I don't know how quickly it will. It might be by the time Nochi starts to look like he's in rhythm, it might be too late for the Spartans to really formulate a comeback. They pitch it out to the right side. Diving forward as he got tackled with Pearson. He will get up to the 20. And now with they've got about 15 seconds left.
We'll see what they do in the second quarter, but maybe a combination of, keeping the desire to pass the ball and some outside runs to, their big back, Pearson.
Should be interesting. Clock hits 0.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the first quarter, here on a brisk Thursday night in Deptford Township, it's all Cherry Hill East. Those that have traveled 30-plus minutes to get down here in Memorial Division play. The big ones, the Cougars, they lead it 21-0. Quarter number 2, the Cherry Hill East Marching Band plays on here at Deptford Township. They got a big group over there. I mean, East, big high school. Deptford's a big high school as well, but obviously growing up closer to that area, it's interesting to see these marching bands travel, and I give them a lot of props for it. I was never a marching band kid myself, but I enjoy music and I enjoy the sounds of a good marching band at a high school game. Here is Nochi, 3rd and mid-range, got hit hard as he gets wrestled to the ground that time. Catch was made by number 7 for the Spartans, Jordan Thomas. Tackle was made by number 5, Shane Beeler.
A big hit by Beeler that time, but a good job by Thomas to rule that one in, get the yards, even though you're going to take a big hit, as I believe the Spartans will punt here on 4th and short.
Spartans do bring out their special teams unit. The officials for tonight's game: referee Bill Murphy, umpire Jay Wolf, head line judge Zachary Apt, side judge Aaron Clark, line judge Michael Jaskowski, field judge Jason Lure and clock operator Ashley Steinberg. Fourth and 4. Oh, they're going to go to a fullback fake. It's Nochi, and they tried their best, but all the way back at their own 20. I tried that off tackle fake in Madden earlier today. It didn't work for me, and for the Spartans, it didn't work for them. It'll be a turnover on downs. Cherry Hill East takes over.
Try to pull a little fast one.
They tried.
Yeah, they tried, but they,
sometimes it does take a little bit of trickery to get ahead. I can't blame them for doing it.
Not at all. Definitely does take a little bit of trickery to get ahead sometimes.
And sometimes, if that worked and if they got 20, 30, 40 yards on the play, we'd be talking a lot differently about it. But because it didn't work, you ask what went wrong, and that's exactly how it boils down. Well, now Cherry Hill East is going to have spectacular field position and try to go up by 4 scores at the opposing 21. They've got Donaldson in the backfield. 3 receivers lining up to the left for Drob's offense. Southpaw Greenberg drops back, worked through the line. The pass is incomplete. Flying through the back of the end zone that time. Pass was intended for number 8, Trevor Levin. And again, when you're up by 3 scores, it almost helps to have this kind of offensive chicanery going on, because they could try to just run, get into the end zone, but they're going to need that for the playoffs. They are going to need a diverse offense for the playoffs. And when you look at where they are in Group 5 right now, this is going to be a fun Cherry Hill East team who, again, they beat Southern 28-21 to win a playoff game last year, but they came up short versus Washington Township. They don't want to come up short this year. They want to go all the way. East with Greenberg gets a pass for a first down. Catch was made by Moyer. That'll move them up, but I think it might be inside the 10, so they drop the sticks here.
Yeah, they'll drop the sticks. A good play design right there for Greenberg to get it to Moyer on the out route right there. He's a big guy. He'll turn up and get upfield for a couple more yards. That time resulted in a first down.
So the UPR for South Jersey Group 5, and then this is the problem with UPR. They factor the strength of schedule so much into this, to where I am literally scratching my head at the fact that there is a 3-4 team in Williamstown that is 8th. 7-0 Cherry Hill East is 9th. I've never understood that. And I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about, this is why. No,
everybody's going to tell you
are overcomplicating that way too much. Because that means that basically if you don't play in this division, you're not going to get a home playoff game.
Yeah.
East, with their performances in this season, they probably deserve a home playoff game.
100%.
QB dives forward. He'll be at the 1-yard line as they'll mark him short. That was a close call there. Again, he was short by about. They're going to put him at 2. So right now, 1 through 4 is Washington Township, Atlantic City, Sayreville, and Southern. 5 through 8 is RV, Kingsway, Old Bridge, and Williamstown. So tomorrow night will be 1v6 in South Jersey Group 5.
Wow.
9 through 12 is
game.
Cherry Hill East, Cherokee, Eastern, and Hillsborough. And then 13 through 16, the last 4 teams to make the playoffs. Toms River North, Freehold Township, Howell, and Bridgeton. Diving forward from the 2-yard line. He's in.
Wow.
Touchdown, Isaiah Donaldson. 4 scores in about 14 minutes of play. And Cherry Hill East has now taken a commanding 27-0 lead over the Deptford Spartans. As Isaiah Donaldson has banked his second of the night. We saw the first come from Kyle Fisher. We saw the second come from the quarterback himself, Josh Greenberg. Or in fact, Greenberg has had 2 tonight. Now Donaldson picking up his first. Judah Niv to kick. First time on this side of the field. The holder will be number 2, Cole Haddock. He's 3 for 3 so far. He's had a really good track record with PATs. This one's up, away, and good. That one went all the way towards the concession stand on the far side of the field. That one was headed a long, long way. Here in Deptford, some folks still waiting for their concessions, and others Well, they're waiting for something else, and it involves the Deptford Spartans. We'll take a quick break. 9:53 left in quarter number 2. Isaiah Donaldson with a goal line rush, 28-0 East. Niv ready to kick this one off. That one is soaring out towards the end zone. It will land in the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for the Cougars. With 9:53 left in quarter number 2, again, the threshold. The crazy thing is that East has to score one more touchdown, and then if Deptford doesn't respond, if we go into the half 35-0, well, you're going to find yourself with a running clock for the entirety of the second half. They changed that rule 2 years ago. It used to be 24 points, and then if the team that was losing came back into that threshold at any point, the running clock would stop. Well, the new rule, and I say new in air quotes because it's been around for about 2 years at this point, it's 34 points, and then no matter what, if it's in halftime, if it's as long as it only applies for the second half. There's no running clock in the first. But here comes the handoff. Pearson diving forward. Second down. Gain of 1. 2nd and 9. But it's 34 points. If it's reached in the first half, the running clock will start at half number 2. And then if it's reached at any point in the second half, it will be immediate from that point, and then it does not retreat at any point. I am not a big fan of that, but I'm not going to be the one to complain about it. The state has their rhyme and reason about it. You know, if it's 34-0, let's be honest, there's probably not a lot of high school teams that can come back from 34-0. And then at that, when it gets to 34-0, it gets worse. Because Cherry Hill East, they already beat an opponent, West Windsor, 61-0 this year. Kingsway beat Clearview 63-0. We've seen our fair share of games go into the 60-point range. Here comes the rush. First breakaway for Deptford. 2-on-1, breaks a tackle, gets up to the 45. And the Spartans finally have their break. David Pearson off to the races.
100% what was needed there for the Spartans. A big run there for Pearson, able to get some yards, put some yards in between and behind. You know, you don't want to be just backed up on your own goal line in your own end zone, you know. Could potentially give up points, but a great run there by Pearson.
Deptford looking to get on the board for the first time today is now Pearson with another rush. This time not nearly as successful. Get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Now we've seen a little bit of showcase of Pearson's speed. He's able to race away from the 2nd and 3rd line from the Cherry Hill East defense. And if he can find a sideline or find a seam, out in the running back, or maybe just get a little flip to him, it could potentially be a foot race to get Deptford back into this.
Yeah, I mean, Deptford might just have to keep the ball on the ground. I mean, Nochi's not a bad passer at all, but you can look at those individual stats, and then it might not translate to a certain team. It might not translate to a certain defense, and right now it looks like Cherry Hill East's defense is all over that Nochi passing game for the sophomores. So if they look to keep it on the ground and if they want to get some points tonight, I think that they just should go with the philosophy of it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nochi does go back to pass. Oh, and it's incomplete. Intended that time for Williams, rather for Villari. And some East defenders helping him up there as it'll be 3rd and 10. Again, East got all their bad blood out of the way last week with their East-West rivalry, and it was 49-7. So they could definitely be resting easy in this game. And then you don't know. I mean, the thing about Week 8 is that the teams that already have their seating set might rest some starters. But then, you know, for East, they're fighting for a home playoff game. I would imagine that they really, really want a home playoff game versus a Bridgeton team that's 5-2. Bridgeton's been on a big comeback in these last 2 years.
Absolutely. 100%.
And East beat them 35-14. Bit of a high snap. Pass right side. Incomplete. And intended.
My, oh, my.
It was Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas.
The sophomore receiver couldn't come up with that one.
Had to,
It's tough coverage.
Really, really tough coverage. But if you looked at, if you saw that one right there, the cornerback wasn't really able to get his head turned around and see the ball in the sky. And Thomas was, he knew where to put his hands at, just had to reel it in. Got to get some really, really good timing there to be able to catch that ball and get good yardage. Great field position right there.
Yeah, they had one good breakaway, and that's really been it for Deptford so far. As with the Cougars up 28-zip, we'll see where they put this one. Nochi staying on the field, so I guess it's kind of already turning into desperation time with 7:34 left in the half. Dropping back. Pass. Got hit hard. Either way, it's going to be either short or it's incomplete. There's a Deptford player down. That was the receiver who kind of got caught in a ham sandwich that time. It looked like it was Thomas.
He got hit hard.
He got hit hard on both sides.
Yeah.
And the Deptford medical staff coming out to attend to him. Yeah, that looked rough. And this is going to be, again, a turnover on downs. And looking from where it's spotted, it looks like it was completed. However, it was short of a first. And it's going to be at the 47-yard line. There's East head coach Tyler Drob out there as he stands over and stands near his opponent's downed player. Yeah, that's rough. Again, he took his helmet off right away. Looks like he is going to be able to stand up, and he will walk off the field under his own power. I mean, he could have been shaken up there. That was definitely rough. I mean, he got hit hard.
Yeah.
And East has been hard hitters all night. And that's definitely going to be a big loss for Deptford if this is a prolonged injury, if he's out for, a substantial amount of time. So where it stands for Deptford, looking at where they are, classification-wise, I believe they're classified as Group 4, which would make sense because I don't find them on the list for South Jersey Group 5. So we'll check the Group 4 list. Probably should have had that up, but yeah, where it stands, Deptford looking like, now I can't find it at all. Maybe they're Group 3?
Yeah, probably Group 3. Probably
there you
Group
go.
3, yeah.
I overestimated the size of Deptford because it is a big school. That pass is incomplete. Yeah. Although Group 4 definitely has some good guys. Winslow, Manalapan, Shawnee, we saw them last week. Got some extra spots going. Yeah, that's why I couldn't find them. Deptford is in Group 3, and they're actually at the bottom of South Jersey Group 3. They're right now 28th of 28 schools in the UPR. And for that ranking, remember, top 16, regardless of how many teams are in the section, make the playoffs. And then they're split into South and Central. Top 4 is Burlington Township, who we saw earlier this year, and we'll see them next Thursday versus Cinnaminson. Cedar Creek, Holmdel, and Somerville. 5 through 8 is Pleasantville, Seneca, Ewing, and Hopewell Valley. Mainland, Matawan, Neptune, and Delsey are 9 through 12. That pass is incomplete. Back-to-back incompletions for Greenberg. Looks like Greenberg got hit in the middle of his throw. Levin was the intended receiver.
Makes it third down.
Tried to get something out there for Greenberg. I wonder what the intended receiver hit him in the hands. Kind of tried to catch it, trying to try to low catch to the stomach. I just want to get your hands out there. Put 2 hands on that one. Wouldn't have been able to reel it in. But obviously, Cherry Hill East not in a bad position. on this 3rd and 10 right around midfield.
No, and up by 28.
Yeah,
Definitely helps. Here comes the rush
100%.
right side. He's got some space. The big fella's got a first down.
Ooh.
He gets hit out of bounds. Oh, hold on here. Whistle came in. I thought maybe they would call something there, but they did not. First down East.
It was Shane Peeler on that carry.
Yeah, Peeler's definitely been somebody to look out for. That was only his 2nd rushing attempt of the year. He's been hit 5 receptions for 34 yards this season.
Just multiple hitters are all over the field for this Cherry Hill East squad, you know. Obviously, you know, a lot of people might have been saying that this is a running football team with how much you do see them run the ball, but that pass, you know, 12 touchdowns, only 1 interception for Greenberg. Don't let it fool you.
Another forward pitch over to Fisher, left side, diving forward. Ooh, he put himself in a dangerous spot there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He made himself very vulnerable that time on the rush.
That was dangerous.
And he could have been hit hard, and considering Deptford's been hit hard a couple times, this is going to be a physical end of the first half, and it's going to be a physical second half from here on out. Just under 7 minutes left in quarter number 2, but now East gets a first down, and they're just 2 yards away. They scored 35 points in last year's big win over Deptford, and now it looks like they're just a handful of yards away from already matching that in a quarter and a half. 1.5 quarters, and they're already on the doorstep of putting up a 35-burger here.
It's been a train ride for the Cougars, hasn't it? You know, all season, regular season this year and last year. If you want to forget the playoffs, but, you know, just putting a good band of guys together to come through in the regular season and just put really good wins together over good football teams. Coming into the backfield from his wide receiver position, you know, they got a lot of good guys, and they got a lot of guys in the backfield. Obviously, you talked about Donaldson. I've seen number 33, Bo Pasternak, for the Cherry Hill East Cougars. Coming, he had a rush down in the red zone last possession for Cherry Hill East. A lot of guys are just sharing the ball all around.
6:48 in the second quarter. We've got a flag prior to PAT. Encroachment on the defense. From referee Bill Murphy. That should be half the distance, which on a PAT in high school isn't exactly that. Half the distance is like trying to slice, you know, like those pizzas you used to get in elementary school where they, you know, had like a 14-inch pizza and they try to slice it like 20 ways. Yeah. That's how I think of like half the distance.
The
on
one real skinny slice.
No,
you always get.
You can't even fold it New York style. PAT here for East. It's up, away, and good. 5 for 5. Cherry Hill East has been on a roll in their pursuit of an 8-0 start. Again, they have not lost a regular season game since 2023 in October. And they're right now looking for their 17th straight regular season win. We'll take a quick break. It's East 35, Deptford 0. Cherry Hill East 35, Deptford 0 here on this Thursday night. Just about 7 minutes remaining in the first half. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Damian Waiters on the call. Vincent Vogt on the production. Judah Niv will send this one away as well. If East and Deptford, or I should say if Deptford does not get a score before the quarter, and that's going to be another touchback for Niv as it just landed on the front line of the end zone, we'll have a running clock for the second half.
Yeah, just under 6 minutes left in the second half. Just under 6 minutes left in the first half, excuse me, until we may see a clock that may run here for the Spartans. But just what a first half it's been for the Cougars. Just sharing the ball, running, passing, and obviously it's been the ground attack that's been able to see the end zone, multiple touchdowns. You know, Shane Peeler, Josh Greenberg, you got to start there, the quarterback here for Cherry Hill East, who had a great game when it comes to QB design runs and able to really command his offense and putting points on the board on nearly every drive here on the first half for Cherry Hill East.
I will say, for what it's worth, we've only had, I think, 3 or 4 games this year that have been really, really rough blowouts like this. I mean, Kingsway beat Delsey 36-0, but that last touchdown didn't come until 2 minutes left in the game. I think it was 29-0 for most of the night, as that's going to be a big rush dropped in the backfield. But then outside of that, I mean, the only other big offenders were Gloucester Catholic lost to Morris Catholic 49-0. Washington Township beat Pennsauken 41-0, and then we saw Point Pleasant Beach beat South River 37-6, and even that wasn't a running clock because it was 31 points.
31, yeah.
So I just remember our first year of DWE football, which was only 2 years ago. It was only 2023. We didn't have a lot of the good clients. We didn't have a lot of the good teams in our court. So we had a lot of blowout games for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And now that I've been able to get some really, really good high schools under our belt, you know, like Washington Township, Kingsway, some other programs like that in that caliber.
Good powerhouse type squads.
Really, really fun to watch these teams.
Amazing.
And it's going to be even fun now that we're in year 2 of the divisional alignment, so we'll see new teams facing each other in 2026. And
yes, yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that I will concede I like about the WJFL. I like the fact that teams that normally wouldn't play each other end up playing each other. And you see it trickle over into other sports because when you see teams, like, for example, I went to Audubon. Our athletic director was Tony Carbone. He just retired last year. Audubon normally wouldn't play Bordentown in anything because they're right at the top of South Jersey into Central Jersey in the BCSL. They played them in football last year, and they played them in football the year before as a part of their divisional alignment. And then before you knew it, they were playing them in boys soccer and baseball by the end of the year. Like, it was just really cool to see these matchups for football because these athletic directors will work with each other, and then they'll be like, okay, we haven't worked with you before, but, you know, now we'll get it done. Late flag comes in on the rush.
That might be a face mask against Cherry Hill East.
Well, they're already backed up to 3rd and 20. See what Murphy has to say. You got it. Face mask east. So they already had a holding call earlier in the drive that set them back to 3rd and 20.
Deptford offense back on the field, trying to put something together.
Good news is they do get an automatic first down thanks to the face mask. They're lined up at the 30 with Nochi coming back out, the sophomore quarterback for the Spartans. By the way, at halftime in Millville, the Thunderbolts lead the Cherokee Chiefs 21-7. You can hear the wind coming out a little bit tonight. Nochi. Oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah, you know,
and he's wrapped down.
Well, he took a very, very big hit from multiple defenders. But that screen pass to Valeri was not open.
That was taken down by number 78, the senior Ona Pella.
And Pella, great job by Pella to get back there quickly on the screen pass. But, you know, I gotta commend Noche for being able to stand tall and take that hit instead of throwing an interception.
That will be Pella's 6.5 sack of the year. He's got 9.5 total career sacks.
Oh, causing disruption.
He definitely is in the backfield. Had 3 sacks total in the 28-14 win over Triton in week 3 of the campaign. Second and looks like about 17-ish.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, Nochi now trying to fight through. Gets taken to the ground. And another defensive line wrap up there by number 33, Bo Pasternak. That'll get them to about 3rd and 14. They're still lined up at the 26.
It's D-line for the Cougars playing ferocious. I mean, Pasternak, Pella, guys is able to lead, really leading the charge for front 4, front 5, whatever defense they want to show for the Cougars.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that with Deptford they're trying to they're just trying to get something going. I mean, you know, right now these players, they're looking at the scoreboard. They know what's going on. It's a 2-0. They started out 2-0. Had a 9-point win over Florence. Had a looked like a 19-point win over Pensgrove. Then they haven't won since. That's a rough feeling as a coach, as a player.
Definitely.
It's a tough pill to swallow, especially for these players. You know, you're on your senior night. Nochi with a pass over the middle, incomplete on 3rd and long. Couldn't tell who he was looking for over the middle, but East almost tried to jump on it.
Yeah, they did. Looked like the receiver, just like you said earlier, Dan. 2 hands on the football, because that one got tipped up and nearly intercepted by Cherry Hill.
4th and 15. 4th and 14, rather. They're at the 26. Deptford, for the umpteenth time, will punt.
One of the better snaps to the punter, Villari, this time.
This one's going to roll out, and East will pick this one up and start their drive at the 40. Villari was the one to pick that one up that time. And now Cherry Hill East, 2 minutes left in the half, 2:13 all told specifically.
And Cougars start already in Deptford's half of the field, they already start in Deptford's half of the field inside of the Spartan 40-yard line. This is great starting field position for another possession for Josh Greenberg and this Cougar offense.
Yeah, at this point, anything more is really pouring it on. You're already in running clock territory in the second half. You know, you might as well put up your statement now and then pull your guys in quarter number 4 and cruise home up 55 and 295 to a 8-0 record.
Yeah,
Donaldson is going to get a first. No, he's not going to get a first down. He's about 3 yards short. He'll be up to the 33. 2nd and 3. Actually, it's going to be 2nd and 5. Forward progress, not as kind to Donaldson. Stay tuned for the DWB halftime program, the Archives Show, where we show you the DWB Archives program where, well, now that we're on broadcast number 600, it makes a little bit more sense, but we show you the best of the best from DWB's 4 years of service in South Jersey, from walk-off hits to game-winning shots to everything in between on DWB that we've covered over the 4 years, again, with this being our 600th broadcast. Donaldson, left side, gets a first. He's up to the 21-yard line. And he's able to convert and able to get a nice first down for East. As they're now running into their last minute and 15 of the half. Really no need to speed it up with the scoreboard as it is.
You're going to need more than just one player. In some runs here for Donaldson in the first half, you're going to need more than 2 players to bring him down. This true workhorse power back with also great speed. Again, don't overlook his speed.
It's going to be really fun. Here's 1st and 10. 50 seconds. Greenberg is going to pass. This one's deep, and nobody there. Touchdown. Nobody was in his zip code as the pass is caught by Shane Peeler, his 2nd touchdown of the day, and East has now put up 41 points with a chance for 42 in the first half as Greenberg throws his 2nd passing touchdown of the game, and Cherry Hill East will be on their way to an easy 24 minutes in half number 2.
Shane Peeler, I mean, what a receiver he is, able to peel away from the defense.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, in the end zone, like Kevin in Home Alone. Just absolutely home alone in the middle of the end zone. Another great drive for the Cougars.
Judah Niv up, away, and good. A 42-0 lead. Niv 6 for 6
Wow.
on extra points
Shoot up,
tonight.
Niv.
And Cherry Hill East, there will be some celebrations on Crescent, but we're not even out of the first half. It's 42-0. We've got 39 seconds left. We'll be right back. Judah Niv will send this one away. $42-0. Hold on. Kickoff is getting waved off. It was in the end zone, but this is going to get called back. There was a referee, one of the side judges.
They'll say he was in front of the ball.
Yeah, that's going to be a illegal kicking motion or a false, I guess a false start. I don't know what the proper
I guess
verbiage would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. Knocks him back 5 yards, so they'll re-kick from the 35.
What a day it's been for Niv, like you said, Dan. 6 for 6 on the point afters here for Cherry Hill East. Just automatic.
So another kickoff this time. We redo it. 40 seconds now left in the half. This one is sent backpedaling. Almost put his foot in the end zone. He'll try to work his way through. He's got some space. He's got blockers. There's a flag down. And that's not good news. He's going to be down at around the 35, but again, this is probably getting walked back because with great kick returns come great holding calls.
Isn't it always
I
true?
mean, I think about how many kick return touchdowns I've seen in my days that have been called back for holds, for blocks in the back, everything in between. And the one break that Deptford would have needed is now not going to be there. Oh, unsportsmanlike against East.
wow.
And now Deptford gets hit with one, so it's going to offset. I didn't see it, but they called unsportsmanlike on both sides, saying it will offset. And look at where this is going to be. They're going to be at the 35. So as much as we were dooming and glooming, thinking that it was a hold or a block in the back, it will stand. And it is a, how about that? It is a unsportsmanlike against both teams. And now they'll start at the 35 on the opposite 35.
It's kind of unorthodox how it happens, but you know, football is that kind of game, especially when it comes to the rules and penalty calls. You know, between two teams.
I certainly thought that there was going to be some kind of hold.
Me
When
too.
I saw a flag on the kick return, you immediately think hold or block in the back.
Absolutely.
Whistles come in before Nochi could get the snap down.
And number one thing
And
you
it's a false start.
Number one thing you can't do for Deptford, even if you want a shot for maybe at like a late first half field goal, or who knows, maybe even a touchdown, you can't give these yards back to the Cougars.
No, it definitely having a great return by Pearson there. This one will bring it back to the 40 on the opposite side. 23 seconds left. Deptford will get back in the huddle here. Again, 23 seconds. Deptford still has all 3 timeouts if they want to try to get a touchdown. Again, they'll need 2 to get outside of the running clock range, but it looks like that's where we're headed. Nochi in trouble. Line wrapping him up. and he will get down. He will get back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll be 2nd and 15. Clock stops with 13 seconds left, and Pat Landis and the Spartans call a timeout. We will stay here as it's 42-0 Cherry Hill East. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Gray Fox Sports. Gray Fox was here tonight, Michael Taylor. But for premier sports photography right in your backyard, you can book Michael Taylor today at grayfoxsports.net or at Gray Fox Sports on Instagram. Also, this broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. That's the sign from just outside Joe Corby and Jim Hawkins' Spartan Stadium. It's a bit of a mouthful, so I just call it Corby Hawkins. But, you know, it's always nice to talk about these venues. You know, there's concrete bleachers that are in front of us here. This stadium built in 1979. The names dedicated to these two head coaches in 2011 when Deptford reached their 300th career program win, which they did under Coach Mike Blackiston. 13.3 seconds on the clock. They'll have at least one more deep shot for for Nochi.
A little bit of championship history. I believe Deptford won a South Jersey Group 3 championship in 2003.
They won two.
Hamilton. Oh, good
yeah,
one too.
03 and 04, I'm pretty sure.
03 and 04.
It was either 02 and 03 or 03 and 04. They've got a deep end around here. Nochi hit as he throws, and he's wrestled to the ground.
I'm surprised.
Cherry Hill East picking it up here. I mean, the ball came out in front of him. That was an incompletion.
Yeah.
And now there's a flag. Yeah, that I was going to say, if there wasn't a flag called,
Dan?
that's going to be roughing the passer.
What do you think about that one, Dan?
That had to have been a flag.
Yeah.
Because the ball came out in front of him, and it was the ball came out in front of him, and it was absolutely roughing the passer. You could argue it would have been a personal foul.
Yeah.
I mean, roughing the passer is a personal foul, but you get my point where it just that was a very egregious hit, and you could argue an unsportsmanlike conduct call as well.
And they're not going to give it to him, Dan. They're going to call illegal grounding against
the
Spartans.
No, never mind. I'm sorry. They called illegal grounding.
They call wow.
This is third and
my goodness.
Let's see here. 10, 20. It's third and about 30. I can see that because he let the ball go in front of him. I thought maybe the ball popped out. But
I thought that as well.
That's unusual. That's a weird way to end a half. But it's been all Cherry Hill East. After the first half, we'll have a running clock in quarters 3 and 4. And it's the Cougars 42 and the Deptford Spartans 0. We'll take about a 15-minute break here on broadcast number 600 here on DWB. We'll take a quick break.
Literally, they've been here twice, and they're about to score, or on the doorstep of scoring 50 for the second game in a row. Xavier Terry Brown. He is still on his feet. He's being shoved forward into the end zone. But who's got the ball? Look at Jason Solomon. The ball magically appeared in Woodbury's hands, and now they're back at the 50. This one's going back. This one's going to go to the distance. I don't see any flags. Did that just go for 100 yards? I think it did. I do not see any flags as Woodbury. Oh my goodness, Jason Solomon have a day. He is the first man not named Taylor to score. Wow, that was good.
Jack Mastero, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a double, and a single. Looking to play hero. He's going to line this one into right center field, and that's going to drop. That's going to do it if they don't get a throw down. Mastero's going to second, and Danza's coming home. Sectional champions, Gloucester Catholic. They do it in possession as GC with Mastero playing hero. An unbelievable 2 minutes remaining. 4 fouls on St. Joe's. 1 more and it's a bonus, which would greatly help Gloucester Catholic. The moving three guard! It's a 1-point game just like that! This place is going nuts! And now a drive to the basket by Spross. He lays it up and lays it in! St. Joe's has 2 timeouts remaining. Gloucester Catholic still has 3. Here we go. Mastero pulls up. He goes to 3! 6 points! Jack Mastero has tied the game with 90 seconds remaining. How will the Wildcats respond with a miss of 1-0 Red Bank. Now here is Al D'Elia. The man they used to call Big Al has now slimmed down, and he still hits dingers. He went viral in 2018 for his catchphrase during the Little League World Series when he was introduced by the ESPN camera crews and was given his standard introduction. He said, "Hi, my name's Big Al, and I hit dingers." And that sentiment still holds true today. He had his first career high school home run versus Rumson Fairhaven in their opening game of the campaign last week. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. But D'Elia, kind of a folk hero for baseball players who just want to hit the ball far and have fun while doing it. The poster child now is the poster big fella. Fly ball right center field. This is going to be a sac fly. Taken in by Terranova, and big, but he certainly drives in runs. It's 2-0. Beebe and Copsetta trading a couple looks. They know what's going on. Full count. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic 26th annual. They are back on top for the first. Excuse me, Goldberg is a shortstop tonight, but he had a 400 average in 2023 as a junior. A homer in each of his sophomore and junior campaigns, 331 career mark and a 430 career slugging percentage. And speaking of home runs, there's a fly ball to left, and it's gone! Devin Goldberg answers on opening day with a first pitch rocket to left, and it's 1-0 Bridgewater. We were just talking about the long ball, and he stomps on the plate, mobbed at home, and Goldberg, the leadoff man, with a swing of gold. It's 1-0.
Getting ready for quarter number 3 here in Deptford Township. It's Cherry Hill East 42, Deptford 0. The running clock will be in effect for the entirety of the second half, regardless of what happens. Deptford will receive the ball to start the second half as, again, Cherry Hill East, there isn't much else to say other than dominance. Kyle Fisher had an 80-yard receiving touchdown to start the game. And then after that, it was a rushing touchdown, 55 yards for Josh Greenberg. Greenberg added on another big rush in the first quarter. And at the end of the first, I'm pretty sure it was either 21 or 28. It was something like 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. They added on some more. Yeah, I mean, listen, there isn't much else to say other than this has been a dominant performance. And, well, I'll tell you, I mean, you know, just second to last game of the year for both of these teams. Cherry Hill East looking to fight for a home playoff game, and they have been taking care of business here in Deptford on this Thursday night with a 42-0 game at half. Remember, tomorrow and Saturday, this is a bit of a warm-up for what Friday and Saturday is going to be. Kingsway at Washington Township on Friday, and then West Deptford at Paulsboro on Saturday, the 18th at 11 a.m. It's going to be a huge weekend for DWB. All three games have at least one undefeated team. Washington Township on Friday, Paulsboro on Saturday. West Deptford, or rather Deptford with 2 men back to receive. Judah Niv will still be out to kick. The thinking is that when Cherry Hill East gets on offense, might be the second team coming out as Niv. With that kick being held down.
Another boomer.
Got to be another touchback, and Deptford will start their first drive of the second half from the 20, and the clock will run.
Running clock to start the second. Well, running clock for the rest of the game. Excuse me. Here for Deptford as they go back to their first possession of the second half. Be interesting to see what they do. You know, they had a couple of good throws, and at the end of the first half, that were starting to work for them. Had the big run, you know, by Pearson in the first. That was probably one of the biggest runs they've had on the ground all day or all night. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm thinking that when we get to how, you know, this post game will go, and we talk about how Cherry Hill East has played, it's going to be more of the same for Cherry Hill East. They're going to be at 16 straight regular season wins.
And how good is that?
8-0 in the regular season last year. Had a playoff game versus Southern. They won that one on the road, and then lost to Washington Township last year. And, of course, Deptford is 1 win better than they were last year. They were 1-8 in 2024. Their 1 win came versus Cumberland, which, again, they saw signs of improvement.
Yes,
they started
did.
out the year 2-0, and we saw them versus EHT. They were 0-4 last year. They lost that game 41-12. Now they come into this one, and this one's just not their night, as it's 42-0 here in the third quarter. They did get 9 yards on the first play of the drive. And now Nochi hands it off. Running out from Pearson. Left side. He'll take himself out of bounds at the 44. That's a first down for Deptford.
It's a good job, able to bounce that one outside, Pearson. Able to get some first down and a little more yardage after that. Deptford will find their legs here if they're able to keep that type of consistency on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they'll find something. I mean, you know, there's going to be a silver lining somewhere. I doubt Deptford gets shut out. But the counter to that is that in this 2-5 season, and as they grip with a 5-game losing streak, during that streak, they have been shut out 3 times. 21-0 to ACIT, 63-0 to Bridgeton, and 56-0 to Glassboro. This one is going to be a dropper for the running back. Pearson got taken down, looks like by East's number 68, Dominic Canzano. Second and 15, got a loss of 5 on the play. They're back to the 37, still in Deptford territory. As we said, East, their last regular season game comes versus Bridgeton. That's a game back in 2024 that East won 35-14. And again, they sit 9th in South Jersey Group 5, UPR, the United Power Rankings, Washington Township, the team that we'll see tomorrow night, sits in the lead.
And what a battle it'll be for those two powerhouses of South Jersey Group 5 to see each other once again in the playoffs. I know you covered that game last year, Dan. What a game that was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a, what's the word? It was a little bit of a lopsided game with 35-7, but still, that playoff atmosphere at Tom Brown Field is unbeat, and it is going to be really fun to see what Washington Township and quarterback Cole Aquino will be able to do in 2025. It is third, and it looks like about 13. They got a yard. And they'll be lined up from the 38. Big thing, though, I think for us is, and for the whole state, is where do you schedule your playoff games? Because Friday is going to be Halloween this year. Halloween's going to fall on a Friday. That pass incomplete, intended over the middle. It looked like for for Thomas. Jordan Williams, yeah. So I was right in the first place. Jordan Williams, 4th and long now. Deptford will get ready to punt this one away. But, yeah, I would imagine some schools will try to make Friday work because I think some high schools are thinking, okay, these kids are going to be too old to trick-or-treat anyway. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah, honestly,
with how tough some of these high school coaches are, they might say, listen, you do not get the trick or treat this year. You've got to play a football. You've got to play a playoff game. Suck it up. You get to do it next year.
100%.
I would imagine that's where some of the sentiment is. Now, my counterpoint to that is this punt is going to roll and it's going to stop on a dime right at midfield. That's where Cherry Hill East will get the possession, and that's the good thing about the running clock. It already took about half of the third quarter down.
Yes. Great.
What the head coaches want and what the athletic directors want is going to be different. And I'm sure that some ADs will defer to their head coaches. Some head coaches will defer to their ADs. I'm sure that there will be some that want a playoff game on Thursday the 30th because of Halloween. You have to think about ticket sales. You have to think about concessions. How much money are you going to lose?
You are right. A lot of things
by playing a football game on Halloween.
Yep.
There's going to be some that will show up no matter what. Saturday might be a good option, but then some teams don't like playing during the day when they have lights on their complexes.
Absolutely.
So there's conundrums that will be discussed all throughout South Jersey and all throughout the athletic departments of the state next week. So it's going to be an interesting phenomenon to see where it flies and where it will fall. 1st and 10 for East. 2 receivers to the right. We do have a backup quarterback in the game. It is caught. Tight end gets hit. Pass was made by East's number 15, Elijah Davis, the senior quarterback, who has his first rep and his first completion of the season, at least in our book.
Yeah.
He's listed as a defensive back and a wide receiver on the roster, but Tyler Drobb in the 8th regular season game of the year giving him some passing reps here.
Yeah, it looks like a wide receiver. Davis is got that one glove on.
Yeah, that's funny. Just could tell right away it wasn't Greenberg, considering this QB is right-handed. Here comes the handoff up the middle on 2nd and short. Line to gain is at the 40. He's either going to be close or they're going to mark it short. Although the head ref wants the chains moved, then they will have it moved. Yeah. 1st down. So they got just past the line to gain. 1st and 10 now. East getting the necessary 10 yards, and they are at the 40.
Looks like maybe a full backup, like a mass substitution here for Cherry Hill East, and still able to move the ball down the field and get that 1st down.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is a good opportunity. Josh Greenberg looks like not going to see the field for the entirety of the second half. Still put up a good performance with 2 rushing touchdowns for what it's worth.
Yeah, wasn't a performance by Greenberg.
Handoff. Up the middle. Barreling forward. He's going to get about 9 yards. The rush that time looked like it was from number 22, Ben Allen. who again has only had 3 rushes this year. That Deptford player had his helmet come off, so he's got to come off the field for a play. Jordan Thomas got 9 yards. From the 31, it's 2nd and 1. And East is just going to keep driving. I mean, they're going to try to keep going and going and going. They're just going to try to get anything that they can to get onto the board.
Yeah.
I mean, again, because it's the second team, you know, it's nothing personal at this point. These teams are trying to get reps just like the Deptford A team is. As here comes the rush left side. Gets about 10 yards. He'll take himself out of bounds without any contest as the rush by number 21, Chase Land, that's on the Deptford side. Number 21, Tamir Gale. We saw him get some reps on the kickoffs and kick returns. But now he's lining up as a running back for a East first down on the doorstep of the red zone, or maybe they're in the red zone. They're right on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, right on.
Already under 3 minutes left in the third.
And that's what the running clock will do to you.
It'll take the time away very quickly.
Yes, it will.
Considering the first half took about an hour and 20 minutes to get done. Pass dumped off, got 2 feet down, and the side judge does say it's a catch to the tight end, Trevor Levin.
That's a catch in the NFL.
It's a catch in the NFL, and it's a catch here as well. I mean, he stressed putting 2 feet down. Good awareness there from the tight end, Levin, the junior. And again, you know, with Cherry Hill East, they had so many guys graduate last year that we didn't really know where they would stand this year. I mean, they had Najai Saunders, they had Jackson Bowman, obviously Sean Jamison, another great linebacker and tight end, graduated. Their QB, Zach Salisbury, graduated with over 2,200 passing yards. Didn't really know where they would fare. But East dealing with a first-year quarterback in Josh Greenberg, who now gets to come back for a senior swan song in 2026. This is going to be a fun team to work with. As East, running back gets wrapped up. Tamir Gale wrapped up deep in the backfield. Looked like he got all the way, only about 2 yards.
Yeah, that was a great play. That was a great play there. Number 27 for the Spartans, Deion White, able to get there in that backfield and make that stop. One of the better plays on defense all night for the Spartans.
3rd and 11. Now outside of the red zone at the 21. We're already going to be down to our last minute of the third. Wow. Again, that's why a lot of teams, they get their scoring done in the first half, and then their night's usually done after that once the running clock starts, because there's really not enough time to get any kind of genuine gain going. They do a fullback handoff here. Rolling through the middle. He gets up to about the 12-yard line. He's going to be short. The rush by Bo Pasternak. It'll be 4th and 1.
Pasternak playing both sides of the ball. His fullback and defensive line position here for Cherry Hill East, you know, and a good impact for Pasternak on both sides of the ball. And there on defensive side, a couple of tackles.
I think the question is, if you're East, thought maybe they would try to get a field goal from Judah Niv. He's only attempted 3 of them in his career.
Yeah.
And he's 42 for 43 on extra points going into this game in his career.
Great idea, yeah.
But they did drop the chains, though. It is first down. Thought it was 4th and 1, but they did say that he got enough. That pass was caught. Football was close to the ground. He spins, trying to stay upright, and he'll get up to about the 2-yard line. As just like that, we're already through 3 quarters as the freshman Javon Godley makes his first reception with the Cougars. So the Cougars are 12 minutes away from a nice bus ride home on this chilly Thursday evening in Deptford. After 3, score is still the same as halftime, 42-0 Cherry Hill East. Clock already started running for the fourth quarter. Here on the doorstep of touchdown number 7. Again, the backup quarterback in the game. He'll get wrestled down. Kind of got tripped up there.
Yeah, Pasternak in there for another carry.
Yeah, Pasternak listed as a running back. I thought of maybe more of a fullback carry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
61 career rushing yards going into this. I mean, he's got more of a build of a fullback.
Yeah.
With a loss of a yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line for the backup quarterback, Elijah Davis, who, again, isn't even listed as a quarterback on the team. However, his primary positions, wide receiver and defensive back, today lined up as QB2, though, in Cherry Hill East's venture for 16 straight regular season wins. Handoff went off to the left side, and they're going to be short here, so it's going to be 4th and goal.
That was a flip to the freshman, like you're saying, Javon Godley, another in there for that jet sweep. He took the carry from Davis, and looks like we'll see if they'll try the field goal, like you said.
I see. Let's see.
Oh, Davis back.
No, Davis
field?
is coming back out. I mean, it wouldn't be harmful to try to put 3 points on the board.
No, not at all.
Again, it's not personal. If you're running up the score, I would say so, but in this case, you're not. They haven't scored since the half. It's a 42-0 game. One more with your, B team on the field. If you had kept your starters on, that's a different case.
That's different.
That's way different. Handoff. Left side, diving forward. He's at the goal line. He is short by a yard, and Deptford makes the stop. The rush by looked like Pasternak. Or no, I think it was Ben Allen who had the rush that time. Yeah, that was the junior Ben Allen who had the rush. Now, the conundrum for Deptford is that they will get the ball back, but they're going to be trapped at their own 1-yard line.
And this is a position that the Spartans have not really been in as far as being on the 1-yard line, but being backed up close to their own end zone, starting field position is it's been a position that they've been in all day, and it hasn't really fared well for Deptford.
Yeah, it hasn't really been their night. And again, Deptford had a 2-0 start to the year. They're going to be in danger of losing 6 in a row. As they're lined up at the 1-yard line, 9 minutes left in the game. QB is in his own end zone. He's got to get it out of the end zone. Looks like he does, but only by about a yard or two. Got to get a little bit more than that.
A shotgun look on 1st down in your own end zone,
Yeah.
When you got your quarterback standing on your own colors, it's just it's gonna be rough. But that time a QB design run for David Noche and able to get it out of the safety zone.
By the way, Haddonfield leads Gloucester 28-0 in the second quarter. So, well, they're not too different from where we are tonight in terms of how this game is going. That's one of basically 4 games tonight. Cherokee Millville, Gloucester Catholic, Haddon Township. Pearson will get out. Ball comes out. See who's got this one. East has it. East picks it up. And Cherry Hill East, with 8 minutes left in the ball game, takes away and strips a fumble away from David Pearson.
Yeah, in a bad car for the Deptford Spartan, takes a turn down Worse Avenue. And it's just nothing really is getting better for Deptford so far. But in this one, the defense showed glimpses, good looks, able to get a strip, fumble recovery, able to get a goal line stand right there. There's positive things that Deptford could take away from
and
this
they're
game.
1 win better than they were last year. This is going to be a rebuild for Pat Landis.
Absolutely.
Obviously, they've had some different years. Obviously, 4-5 2 years ago, or excuse me, they were 1-7 2 years ago, 4-5 3 years ago, and this is Landis' 4th year. Obviously, Al Oreo was the coach before then, and they're still going to try to figure some stuff out in the Oreo era and now in the Landis era. Timeout was called. Couldn't tell which side called it. East called a timeout. But the last time Deptford had an over 500 year was 2018 with Al Oreo 6-5. And they had some good wins, and a lot of them over small schools. Overbrook, Woodstown, Haddon Heights, Sterling, and Florence, and Glassboro in a Thanksgiving game. Back when Deptford and Glassboro played on Thanksgiving. But they started off the year 5-1 and then lost 4 in a row to end their regular season. West Deptford, Haddonfield, Delsey, and Mainland. Those Delsey and Mainland games, Delsey was a first-round playoff game, which they lost 20-zip. Mainland was a Thanksgiving tune-up game, but they still won on Thanksgiving 13-12 over Glassboro. Back when that rivalry was still alive. 7 minutes left. 1st and 10 after East's timeout. From just outside the red zone, rush to the right side, nothing going there, 2nd down. By the way, we have our final out-of-town score update. Haddon Township leads Gloucester Catholic 14-6 at halftime. Cherry Hill East up 42. Again, Cougars just outside of the red zone, and what is now mostly an emptier crowd tonight here in Deptford. That ball comes out, but he puts a knee down as he was picking it up, and the runner is down.
Yeah, Davis was trying to flip it to his receiver. Another jet sweep look. You know, you've seen
a lot of Haddock that time.
Yeah, Haddock. You know, you've seen a lot of jet sweeps for the Cougars, and it's been working to good perfection. You know, and instead of like I said, you know, a team that's definitely not afraid to run the ball, but a team that you can see in the passing game. But this time, these passes, the way they're getting their wide receivers involved within the offense tonight, has just been little flips right in front of the quarterback, little jet sweeps. They've been able to turn those into really, really good gains.
Of course, Deptford weathering the storms tonight. Not literal storms, but it is about 55 degrees tonight here in Deptford with the wind blowing in. Handoff, left side. Fighting the line. Late tackle, still on his feet, and he finally is down around the 14, 15-yard line.
Clock at just 5 minutes left here in this one, and running still. You know, got the running clock.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we could have a scoreless second half after East put up a 42-burger in the first half. This is going to be interesting. They had a goal line stoppage. Deptford was able to take over. The ball got coughed up by David Pearson. Fumble recovered by the Cougars. Now down to 4.5 minutes left. And pretty much everyone on the defensive line moved. With 4th and 4, I don't know if they tried a hard count or if they just were able to jump offside. The cadence definitely rocked Deptford, and it will be enough for an East first down on the offside. Again, you saw about 3 or 4 linemen move that time. Not easy.
Yeah, they go to the hard count, try to pick up the first down here, and, you know, nobody has to even put in any work there for Cherry Hill. East is able to pick it up off penalty yards.
They drop the sticks, 1st and goal from the 10.
Deptford with a strong blitz, but everybody just.
That's still another tough shot.
Yeah.
2nd and goal again. Well, now we have time called. Or what is it here? I saw one of the referees wave their hands, but time does not stop. We keep on moving. Second and goal. Davis, handoff. Still wrapped up at around the 5 or 6 yard line. They'll get about 2 yards as they did in the last play. It's going to be 3rd and goal from around the 6. Now down to 3 minutes left.
Ladies and gentlemen, they've got spirit. Let them hear. Let's hear it for
They did get 2 yards. 3rd and goal from the 6. Davis with another handoff, diving forward. He's at the goal line. He is going to be stopped short, and it's going to be 4th and goal. They're going to be at around the 1-yard line.
Yeah, 1-yard line there. That was a flip to, I believe, like you said, Haddock.
Yeah, it looked like Haddock was the one who got the forward flip that time, and it's going to be 4th and goal. They're going to be about a yard short.
Another jet sweep carry on that one. For the flip from Davis to Haddock, coming over from his wide receiver position. It's been working like a charm here tonight for Cherry Hill East.
Yeah, this has been really interesting for Cherry Hill East. Again, they gave up 14 points in their win over Deptford last year. It was 35-14. And then when these two played in 2019, Deptford gave them the kicking.
Yeah.
But this year and last year, Cherry Hill East on top. Rush right side on 4th and goal. They handed it off to what looked like a lineman.
That looked.
It was.
Wow.
It was number 56. How about that? The carry by Tony Vega, the senior. It's no good. But now the attention turns to Vega, who got. I thought it was crazy enough that Cherry Hill East gave the ball to an offensive lineman. They handed it off to the big gentleman Vega. But now Vega is hurt, and the clock is stopped with 1:23 left in the 4th quarter with Cherry Hill East up 42-0. Again, our broadcast schedule will go for this weekend and next week as well. Friday Night Lights at Tom Brown Field, Kingsway at Washington Township tomorrow night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Then on Saturday morning, we go to Paulsboro for an 11 a.m. kickoff between the Eagles and the Red Raiders, 6-1 versus 7-0. Monday, boys soccer in Pennsauken in the BCSL. It's Pemberton versus Pennsauken, 3:45 opening kick. Then we'll be back at Deptford. We'll be back on the turf for boys soccer between Washington Township and Deptford on the 22nd at 4 p.m. from Corby Hawkins Stadium. And then Thursday night, our last Thursday night game of the regular season, Burlington Township at Cinnaminson, 6 o'clock kickoff in Cinnaminson. And then we've got our fan vote game. We will announce tomorrow night who are the 4 games that will be eligible for the fan vote. And then on Saturday, we close out the regular season with more South Jersey Group 1, Shallock, and Woodbury. 45 seconds left. Deptford is inside their own 1-yard line. They're right around the 5. They'll have one more play with this running clock. Can't imagine they get anything more than that. He almost bobbled that ball. Pearson will get one last rush, and Cherry Hill East, with a dominant showing, will go back home with 16 straight regular season wins. Have not lost since October 26th, 2023. And after winning 35-14 over the Spartans last year at East, they traveled down 55 to Corby Hawkins Stadium and put up a shutout. 42-0 is the final in tonight's Thursday night matchup between the Cherry Hill East Cougars and Deptford Spartans. There wasn't too much to talk about in the second half, so we're glad you stayed with us because this was an interesting game until it wasn't. Cherry Hill East had everything going for them, and you could kind of feel the tone was set on the first play of the game. 80-yard rushing score. Kyle Fisher had the pass touchdown. By that point, the game was pretty much settled. That point, the game was pretty much over, and by the time it got to 14, 21, 28, you could kind of feel the energy slipping from this Spartans team. And while they did not play a horrendous game, certainly would be one that they want back.
Yeah, absolutely, one that they definitely want back. The defense had a lot of good showings. The able to strip the big tight end for Cherry Hill East. Ryan Moyer on the near sideline, get that fumble, get that recovery, like I said, and the big defensive stop, down in the red zone, back against the wall, Cherry Hill East, and then for Deptford, their defense able to stop Cherry Hill East on a goal line stand, able to get a good hit right there. So they like I was saying before, the clock hit 000, the Fat Lady song. For this Deptford organization, this Deptford team, you can take a lot away from a good defense, maybe some things to work on offense. The running game didn't really see it turn out what you really wanted it to be. Players like Pearson, they tried to mix it in with Thomas a little bit for the Spartans. And then just a lot of things going on, but not too much able to work. David Noche, a hard, tough-nosed player. Deptford going to 2-6. They got a lot to work on, but this wasn't a completely bad night. Cherry Hill East team's just completely been rolling.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm actually a little bit excited for Deptford's future. I saw their youth football programs a couple of weeks ago in Woodbury. They played them in the TCUFL. I saw them when I was working for HSG Network, and Deptford looks really good. Their future is bright. They're just not here yet. And if David Noche gets to his junior and senior year and he's got some of those weapons that he can work with, it's going to be a great time for Deptford. And I think that they're going to go back to what they had with Coach Blackiston, what they had with Coach Oreo. They're not too far off from that. This looks like a bleak time for the Spartans. They've lost 6 games in a row. This is the second year in a row where they've only been able to muster 1 or 2 wins in the season. They won the first 2 games. They beat Florence. They beat Pensgrove. And then that was it. They didn't get anything else, and now, this hangs in the balance with their last regular season game coming up next week. Again, we talk about what Deptford's capable of. I thought that I really liked the pocket passing from Noche that time.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought that there were some good qualities out of that. I thought that there were some good rushing opportunities by Pearson. But again, we can only go so far when we talk about seniors. When we talk about underclassmen, we can talk about development. We can talk about potential, but it's pretty much determined that Deptford is not going to make the playoffs. In South Jersey Group 3, they're 28th out of 28 teams, and it puts them in a tough spot because, what do you do at the end of the year? They did not play a consolation or a crossover game at the end of the 2024 season. So next week versus Triton could be it. And with Cherry Hill East, going home, they've won 16 straight regular season games. It looks like this win, depending on how Williamstown does, this could put them over the hump over Williamstown in South Jersey Group 5 and could put Cherry Hill East in the green when it comes to potentially getting a home playoff game, which they did not get last year, and then they eventually ran into the powerhouses that are the Washington Township Minutemen. But my point stands. This was a very good game for Cherry Hill East. It was a game that Deptford would want to forget, but it's just right now more of the same for a rebuilding program. I believe in Coach Landis. I think that he's going to have some great years ahead of him. Listen, no program with a history like Deptford, back-to-back sectional championships in the 2000s. We don't want to relic on the past too much, but there is a lot to love about this Deptford program. There's a lot to love about the fieriness in this town. And again, with a lot of the local talent coming around, some of them could be coming back to the Spartans soon, so I don't know. But that's pretty much all I got to say. That's going to be all for us tonight. First of all, I want to send a big thank you to everybody for this being our 600th broadcast. Obviously, not exactly the competitive broadcast that we would have wanted for 600, but either way, just wanted to say a big thank you. My mom was I was talking to her earlier today, wanted to give her a great shout-out for jump-starting us back when I was a sophomore in high school, and now we're.
Thank you, Mama Wilkins. We love you, Mama Wilkins. Thank you. You have a great son.
Yeah. Well, we've got a great crew as well, and all of this wouldn't be possible without the support of our crew and the support of our sponsors, our advertisers, and then of course our high schools that we partner with to bring you this South Jersey high school action every single week here on DWB. But from our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, my producer, Vincent Vogt, my color commentator, Damian Waiters, I'm Dan Wilkins. Cherry Hill East will sprint off the field, clean up those benches, and head to the buses. Here on this chilly Thursday night, they put up a shutout here in Deptford. East 42, Deptford 0. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you tomorrow in Washington Township.